Filipino first. Like that, I believe that is what's needed in America. Americans first. England, British first. Germany, Germans first. And anywhere in the world, they should protect their citizens more than just allowing to be dictated by their visitors, by their immigrants. I just can't. I really appreciate the Philippines of what is happening right now. I do appreciate how protective we are about the Filipino first policy. I know it was criticized by most foreigners because like it's unfair that we are not allowed to do the same thing that you are allowed in our country. You can buy anything you want, land, houses, but here in the Philippines the foreigners are not allowed. It's not the fault, it's your government who's allowing it. But like I said, I think it's the time now that you also copy about the Americans first, the British first, the Germans first policy. Because I just can't. I am not racist. The Filipinos are not racist. They are just being protective. The Filipino first policy is the one that's embedded in our constitution. We don't want the Filipinos to be just guests in their own country, homeless in their own country. That's why the protectionism is in place. It's been a rainy day, so we have no backhoe operations on moving dirt on my road project. So I just take the opportunity to go out and do a bit of shopping for my family while the lads are Dulito and Deloy is howling, stockpiling sand and gravel, and Janelle was working on Old B's bar. So this is like also a break for me, but it's really horrible. It's like rained so hard in a couple of hours and now it's stopped. But you can see how wet is the road and how dark we are in here, considering that we are always not always, we're often on hot, very hot sunny days, especially this time. But we have a typhoon like I mentioned a while ago. Now I'm driving down, so this is like the opportunity to share my views. I have noticed that one of my favorite TV show, Little Britain, I like that program. I'm not looking at it in a racist point of view, but I heard that it soon be chopped because of it's considered as racist. I just look at the comedy on it. America is not my country, Europe is not my country, so I could only talk to the Philippines. And considering what's happening right now, aren't I glad that here in the Philippines is very protective. Foreigners cannot buy land, foreigners cannot vote, foreigners cannot participate in political opinions. They can have their own personal political opinions, but they cannot participate in any suffrage, participate in any rallies. So we are upholding the Filipino first. Our president is now clearing up our country. Looking at what's happening right now, that they cannot control all the riots, all the looting. They need a Duterte out there. Like, if he's really pissed off, you know what he does. Because sometimes that's the only way you can let the people acknowledge authority. I just feel sorry for the people. I'm not talking about if they're what color they are, but the innocent one that's gonna suffer for all this rioting that they do. And I could only talk in the Philippines because I'm here, living here. I'm one of these citizens. But wouldn't I or you, as Filipinos, appreciate how protective we are? We do invite them over that they can live here. But amazing that when they are supposed to be guests and accommodated in a country, and now they're starting to want to change history. destroy all the historical facts, the historical. That's just, I cannot accept that. But like I said, that's not my country. But I'm so glad that we have a very protective nature Filipino first here. Then foreign invasions, they are guests and remain as guests. You know, we are welcoming foreigners. They can retire here. Look at the SSRB visa. And a lot of people now are looking at the Philippines to transfer, especially what's happening right now in South Africa. I mean, there's one channel that I watched, even it was news, that they are even considering coming over to the Philippines. Those white farmers that been kicked out of South Africa. And yes, we welcome you, but you have to come here legally, of course. Like, there are different categories where you can come in here. Like one in my videos, the SSRB visas. And if you're a tourist here, you might have to consider looking at the SRRB visa if you're not having any interest in marrying a Filipino, but you want to stay in the Philippines. You look at the option, the legal way to live here. But like I said, there's no participation that should be included in the prohibited business or occupation, and you should be law abiding. You can see foreigners now that doing fisheries and just put their wives as dummies, as so-called owner of this fish farming, but only one complaint to the proper authorities and your stay will be jeopardized. So please, if you come here, consider that Filipinos are very protective in their own nature. And when you come here because you got more capital, or you're begging for more capital because you got that access of begging, you are not better off than most Filipinos, because those enterprise that you're gonna come and engage in here should always coincide with what the law provided you under our constitution, under our statutes. Then you can live here peacefully. So we are nearing now in Pitos area, and I'll soon be stopping like I always do, because there's a pothole at the end of this road that I turn, that I need to maneuver, although I'm bringing my old banger because it's even day today. But it's the splashing of the water that I'm avoiding, of splashing the people on the side. That's why I gotta have to slow down. I'll stop now. I'll just continue when I'm safe. I'm now safer, so I can go back to what I'm discussing. It was like my favorite show, one of my favorite show in Netflix, the comedy Little Britain, will soon be axed because it's considered as racist. I don't think it's racist. If I look at that program as the comedy that's on it, I'm not looking at it. What are they representing in their jokes? It's the joke that matters to me on that one. But like I said, I could only talk about the Philippines, not America, not Europe, because these countries are not my country. But I do appreciate how the protectionism of the Philippine Constitution when in regards to foreign participation here in the Philippines. Foreigners, like I said, cannot participate in certain areas in business, cannot participate, prohibited to participate in political engagement, run in any office, vote. They cannot. As foreigners here, you are a guest in the country. So you should not start to dictate how we run it. And like taking out the history of the Philippines because somebody else is offended on it. No, you come here, we invite you, you come here, you're welcome. But you also have to respect our cultures and traditions. Then we can all live peacefully and harmoniously. And I'm asking Old B last night to download all the episodes of Little Britain because I do like the comedy that they have on there. I'm not looking at it as any, oh, this the black and the white. I pass colors, I look at the humor, not the colors, and not the humor about the different culture, because it can be mixed, and it's only a comedy. It's supposed to be entertaining and not about any political agenda. But like I said, it is now admirable what's happening around the world. The Filipino first policy that was framed in our constitution, it does make sense now, because otherwise the Filipinos will be displaced from their own country, and the foreign visitors, the foreign immigrants, will be the one dictating how it will be run. So don't you think, I think some of the foreigners appreciate that they are living here, they're living peacefully, but they are limited to like what they can do business wise, politically wise. And also some I've seen in the comments that they are even admiring it, how protectionist in our the protectionism in our constitution about buying land, because that's what's happening right now in other countries. Is the prices just shoot up so much because it's not the foreigners that owns the land are demanding their own price. So that is my point of view of that one, of what's happening around here, around the world right now, is they should not have done it to escalate that one. They should not allow, if they are, I feel sorry for the policemen in, was that London, that they are being mocked. I mean, and was that, I just cannot imagine it happening here if we still have a strong leader like Duterte. Because as for me, he is doing a good job in cleaning up the Philippines. I know a lot was saying that he is a criminal, he is no good, but I've seen the actual result, the effect on it in my own community. People follow, like the mandatory mask. Most of the youngster has to follow it, otherwise they'll have a 50 push-up for every violations, or if you can't do the push-up, you go to the jail and have to bail. So you notice everyone is on mask. It's a mandatory accessory now. Like you have your cell phone, you have your mask. So you can buy masks even on sari-sari store. In our local area, they sell you masks by piece. Like how much you want to buy masks, you can buy it in the sari-sari store now. So that's it. You need the leaders here in the Philippines. Although some of them are corrupt, but there are good ones that like Duterte. Some of his policies we don't agree, but some has done so much effect on keeping the discipline in the country. Like right now, the Department of Education is insisting on opening the classes by August 24. But Duterte said there's no vaccine, why risk the children? There's no class till the vaccine can be sorted, till some measures for protection can be sorted. Yeah, someone comment that, oh, look at the other SARS that are there until now when it is contained. That's the thing that the president was looking for. When such viruses can be contained, then he will agree about reopening the school, because he is protecting the children who are also vulnerable to this kind of pandemic. Because we are not the only one affected here. It's all over the world. But we are doing our best. I know social distancing is not being followed so well, but the mask is being followed. Most of the people wear masks when they're on public. When when they go out, a mask is not, like I said, is now an accessory. You can buy it in sari-sari store. So it's now the new norm that maybe even if this pandemic is over, we're still gonna be wearing masks in our dealings with anything. So I'm now nearing my destination, Country Mall. So I'll turn it off. So from the queue in the parking lot that you can see up there, you gotta go around there before you even reach here where I'm queuing now. You gotta go around on the back before like they count how many is out from the grocery and before anyone can allowed in. So this is what it seems to be the norm now in every grocery store. But the mall area, since not a lot, so in the but in the mall you can go in because not a lot is. I'm going back home now after I've done my shopping and pick up takeout for Old B. So people are rushing because we still have our curfew here at 7 o'clock and most shops are closed at 7. So you can see that people are rushing home and people are going back. Yeah, I've been to the Indian place and there's a group of Indians there talking to me, the guests of the owner, because they want to buy a farmland. I told them that you can't own farmland by yourself. Foreigners not allowed. So they said, corporation. I don't know, but I told them, make sure you have 40%, not just dummy. And they want to have a look at in our place, but I've said that I'll just see if I'm not busy, but it's just signaling them I'm not interested because I don't want to be a part of something that is breaking the laws of the Philippines. Yeah, it might be nice to have a someone else progressive farm around the area, but I don't want it to be like it's a ploy for something else. And we already know they're Indian. What is their visa over here? And so I told them, I just say, if I'm not busy, you can have a look in the farms on our place. And so you can imagine it. Why are they here? But as long as the foreigners keep themselves to themselves, don't interfere with our political system, political issues, and the farm that they want to cultivate will not be hurting the farms around the area. Maybe they will be just supplying the Indian market here in Cebu. We don't know, but like I said, just the interest that they want to buy land here, it shows so many foreigners are now wanting to come here and live here, live their life here, like that Indian. And the Indian is, I've noticed that their paperwork, they are a corporation. I wonder who are their incorporator, but it's not my business. But as long as they are registered, and the business of the restaurant is not limited to Filipinos, so the Indian person is, which I'm friendly with, the owner of the Spice, is following the rules. So that's the key thing. If you want to live here, always abide with the rules. Don't insist on what you want. Because like I said, we are very protective. The Filipino comes first policy in everything. In almost everything. And number one is the owning of lands. So I'm now nearing Pitos. I just have to slow down and turn this off because it seems to be more traffic than it's the usual. You could see it there. So I'll be safer, so I'll just turn off.